Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we're talking about the Herring versus Stevenson fight for the WBO Junior Lightweight World Title. Okay, as you will know, Herring was the champion. Stevenson, the young challenger. Let's have a look at the stats. Herring, 23 wins, MKOs, 3 losses, 2 via KO. Jamel William Herring, Semper Fi, ex-Marine, 35 years of age, even though I thought he was older. 5'10", with a 72-inch reach. I think Stevenson has a 68-inch reach, so Herring had a 4-inch reach advantage. But that doesn't define who's going to win a fight, as we clearly saw. Okay, so Shakur Stevenson, what's his record? 17 wins, 9 KOs, 0 losses, 0 draws. Okay, so what we're looking at there, a 62-inch reach, 5'7", 68-inch reach. But that don't matter when you got the better footwork. So most people thought that Stevenson would win. Stevenson was the clear, large favorite. Smaller man, smaller reach, but clear favorite. Younger, the future. That's how he was seen. That should be his nickname, the future. Okay, well now the present, because as we see here, Herring was simply, shouldn't laugh at the stumble at the end. Herring was simply the sharper man, the shorter reach, but it didn't let it negatively affect the fight. As you see, has feet planted well and was coming in with Stevenson was doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Stevenson was doing everything. He was going upstairs. He was going downstairs. He was throwing straights. He was throwing hooks. Straight, hook, hook, hook. And I'm not laughing at Herring, because I really wanted him to teach the young whippersnapper a lesson. But it was not to be. That was wishful thinking on my part. I thought that Herring, Stevenson rather, it was a little bit uncouth, touching the belt on the man. I mean, personally, I felt that Herring should have given him a slap, but Herring's too much of a professional for that. But I thought, sometimes you just gotta put to one side when discourtesy is being presented to you. Sometimes you just gotta take off the gentleman's robe. Sometimes you just have to unclip the robe from the front, just spin it around a little bit, roll it up, put it to one side, and pow! Slap the uncouth youngster. Just a slap, not a punch, just a slap. You know what I'm saying? But a definite slap. But he probably got fined for that, etc., etc. He was the better man. He didn't rise to the bait. The man pulling on the belt on his shoulder. It's a lot of disrespect. It was a lot of disrespect. So I was hoping that Herring would be able to teach the young whippersnapper a thing or two, put him in his place. He could come back later, but it was not to be. It was a one-sided beatdown. However, if you haven't seen the fight, that doesn't mean to say that Herring wasn't doing anything. He was doing a lot, but it wasn't enough. Stevenson was doing more. Herring could beat, probably 99.95, 98% of the other junior lightweights, but Stevenson was simply too much for him. And I have to give credit where credit's due. To say Stevenson, in this fight, he's been criticized in the past for being, somewhat just doing enough to win and just getting out. And maybe people saying, has he got enough dog in him? But he put on a comprehensive display of boxing, which I cannot deny I found exceptionally pleasing. Going upstairs, downstairs, in range, out of range, coming into range. Came in head first at times. There's more than one time that Herring received the head of Stevenson in his face, forehead. Yeah, you could say it's a clash of styles, or is it deliberate? Hey, either way, it was a comprehensive and thorough beating that Stevenson laid down on Herring. There is no two ways about it. The only round I gave Herring was the 5th round. I don't even know if that was just. I think Stevenson won the first half of the round, but Herring came back in the second half of the 5th round. I think it was the 5th round. And he did some damn good work. Hurt Stevenson, I believe, to the body. And for the second half of the 5th round, Steven had little to no responses. But like I said, that might be the only round where Herring came good or got the better of Stevenson. Yeah, Stevenson just the better boxer on the night. By far, the more intelligent, the more cunning, the cleverer, the punisher. Stevenson was the punisher in this fight. Long story short, got to the 10th round and Stevenson was, or rather Herring was cut. Brought the doctor in, the fight carried on. But after a couple of barrages from Stevenson, the referee waved off the fight. It's not that Herring couldn't have continued. It's just that it was clear. It was clear that he was taking a shellacking. He was giving back, but he was taking a lot. He was taking a lot. And so I think it was a judgment call on the referee's part. He didn't have to stop it. I'm sure Herring could have made it to the 12th round, but the referee had seen enough. And to be quite frank, I'm cool with the stoppage. It will be a disputed stoppage, but I personally am cool with the stoppage. Herring showed no signs he was going to turn this thing around, and he was just taking too many licks. Just taking too many licks. And I think the referee did the right thing. Okay, so this is the rankings for the junior lightweight division. Where's Oscar Valdez? Oscar Valdez doesn't appear to be in the top 10. I think that's probably been dropped out due to his failed PED test. Well, here we see Jamel Herring was number 1. What is this, the Ring magazine? Is this the Ring magazine? Let me have a quick look. What is this? Yeah. The Ring. Okay. So these are the Ring rankings, Ring magazine rankings. Champion vacant. Herring, number 1. Obviously, he'll drop down now. Miguel Berchelt, number 2. Rakimov, 3. Chris Colbert, who had some things to say about, made headlines because he had some things to say about Deontay Wilder that Deontay Wilder found uncharitable. And so there was a bit of a ruckus earlier on in the year, a couple months back, regarding Chris Colbert's words and sentiments about Deontay Wilder. 5, Shakur Stevenson. He's going to move up. Where is he going to move to? Where is he going to move to? Are they going to put him up there? Hey, let's see. What do you think? Roger Gutierrez from Venezuela, number 6. Foster, number 7. Xavier Martinez, 8. Fazil from South Africa, number 9. Weeks on the list, 1. He's just made it up on the list. And Robson Conseco, who fought Oscar Valdez, what was that, a month or so ago. A lot of people thought he won that fight. A lot of people call that fight a robbery. Oscar Valdez, who failed a PED test prior to the fight. But the WBC let him go on, said they put him on probation, but the fight goes on. Yeah, caused a lot of questions. Still ripple effects from that. Okay, so how far does Shakur Stevenson go up after such an impressive and dominating performance? It's going to be interesting to see how this thing pans out. How far does Shakur Stevenson rise up in the rankings after this performance? I have to say it was a masterful performance. And Herring, oh gosh, Herring at 35. Remember, we thought he was done in the Jonathan Oquendo fight. He looked like he didn't have much fighting, and there was a number of headbutts from Oquendo, and it looked like it was time for Herring to hang him up, hang up the gloves. Where did this ad come from? Hang up the gloves, but he came back with an impressive stoppage of Carl Frampton. So it looked like, yeah, it's got some life in the old dog yet. But against Shakur Stevenson, once again, I was thinking, yo, it's time to hang the gloves up, man. It's time to hang them up. Doesn't have to. But I think there comes a point where you have to say, okay, you're 35, you're in a lighter weight division, you're not heavyweight. Heavyweight at 35 is still good. You still got a couple of years in you. But, people age differently. People age differently. One man's 35 is the next man's 40. And it looks like, from the looks of it, you get the impression that Jamal Herring, biologically, might be closer to 40 than 35. So, what's next for both of these guys? What's next? And who's next? What say you? Mr. Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Mr. Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out.